Yeah, it does. Poursuite. This is what basically happens in the Bible. This is what basically happens in the Bible.
Alright, everybody. Let's see if this is working now. Oh, we didn't actually transition over yet. That's okay.
What? One chip, one basket.
Wait, why is it? Very interesting. Oh, this thing is freezing on me here. There it is. Alright, so the microphone should be picked up and ready to go, but I don't see any audio coming from the mic here. But let's get to our first article. Where is...
Oh, you gotta get rid of music.
Yeah. Alright. And we'll transition over here. Alright, now let's see here. We pulled up the wrong web page here, but
Why am I not seeing the microphone then?
that's a good question. I don't understand. Let me replug in this mic. Here we go. Why is this not... Doesn't see it as it's plugged in, like it's not...
Different.
Can you hear us? There it is. Now they can hear us. I see it. It's down here. Alright. So now they can hear us. Perfect. Alright. Today we were going to get into what I like to call the Loot Drop. It's a new podcast series that we're going to be starting, discussing all things related to game updates, announcements, releases, and just interesting tidbits around the web regarding new consoles, rumors, things like that. So, before we get started here, I want to thank everybody for tuning in already. I appreciate and love everybody. One thing that we wanted to start with was Team Fortress 2.
That loot.
Before we get into talking about anything really interesting, we have to warn you guys, do not play Team Fortress 2 because a source code was leaked onto the internet. Now, what that means is everybody has access to every little detail of that game. Now, what's included in the source code is like maybe your security protocols,
like payments. Do they sell shit in that game?
I mean, yes, you do. But the thing is, you now have access to what their security measures are, and you have
sponsor.
Yeah, unofficial Red Bull sponsor. Whenever you're ready, Red Bull, we're ready.
Anytime.
Shadow PC, you know what I'm saying? We're here. But anyway, here's the article that we were looking at. Now, so the idea is you install this game and you play it and it's fine. But if anybody can access the source code, they know how to access and bypass your security measures. So what can happen is you can get malware installed on your computer just by playing the game. Because there are hackers and things that are attempting to take advantage of this Yeah, he's got a little VR headset on. So people are taking advantage of this leak, so to speak, by hacking into the game and running remote code on your computer, which is considered malware. And that's not a good thing. It's a horrible thing. Nobody wants that to happen. That's a horrible thing. So, shame that this is happening to a Valve game, but maybe this will be a shock to the system that they needed to, I don't know, improve their security measures and knock out some of their leaks. What do you think about that? Playing a game, installing malware on your computer. That reminds me of that Valorant fiasco. There's a new game from the creators of League of Legends called Valorant. It's a first-person shooter.
I watched some streams of it, and then you're like, nope, they fuck up your shit. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, the game looks great and it sounds great, but then what ends up happening is when you install that game onto your computer, they require you to run a security suite, basically, that protects their game from your hacking and shit like that. But the problem is they install the security measures at root level permission, so it's like it has more permission than you do over your machine. And it cannot be turned off at all. It turns on every time you run the machine, whether or not you're playing that game or not.
It has administrative rights, don't it?
It has better than administrative rights. It runs the system from the root, like before it even decides that there is an admin or even permissions at all. Like the computer has to create the idea of permissions, right? So before that even happens, it's above that in permission level. So that's the real scary thing. Be careful playing these new games, or this older game, but the newer game, Valorant, however you want to say.
Jason Hill is joining us.
Hey, Jason Hill. Love you. Thanks. Appreciate you. If you missed what we were talking about, don't play Team Fortress 2 because you can get malware on your computer. So until Valve I don't know, they might have to rebuild their source code. But until that happens,
I don't play that game. That's an old game.
It's an older game, but you know, it had a diehard fan base. A lot of people loved that game.
I don't get it either. It's not like it's like an arcade shooter.
It was the first Overwatch, basically.
Yeah,
I mean, it started, so that was the whole reason why there's an Overwatch and why there's a Valorant in the first place is because people love Team Fortress 2. So it's a shame. So watch out for that game, Valorant. You know, don't install that because it's going to install a security measure at root permissions on your PC, and that's not good because when somebody gains access to that, say like this, then they gain access to everything on your PC, not just maybe running some remote code while you're playing a game.
So you better be careful.
Yeah, be careful of what games you're playing nowadays.
And, you know, they might be checking out your catalogs.
All right. So we can move on from Team Fortress 2 warning, because that's basically all we wanted to say before we really get into anything, was a little warning about those two games. So if you've been playing those games, sorry, you may want to stop because you might be putting yourself at risk.
Hey, Jason says hello.
Hello. Welcome. Appreciate you. Love you. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, thank you for tuning in. It does mean a lot.
Yeah, it means a lot. It really does mean a lot for any support that we receive. So we're going to move on to some events that are happening in some of our favorite games. Like,
Well, no, why are you... Oh, you want to go into the Xbox events now?
Well, what did you want to talk about first? Do you want to talk about the Xbox Series X, or...
Yeah,
there's no real format for this yet.
I know.
So...
I'd rather do the Xbox Live updates later. Just drop more news and...
Okay. All right, so let's go into some of the things that I had planned for later.
Maybe let's go...
like an Apex Legends announcement.
Go to... Or yeah, do... I was thinking maybe if you want to do that, and then we'll go from League down and then into this.
Okay. All right, so we'll just start with League then. Because we were talking about Valorant, it's a good way to transition into League of Legends. Because they're made by the same people. So, Riot Games made...
Real quick, Keely said, speak on Nintendo Switches being sold out. I'd like to purchase one. I can't play any games. I own a PS3. News, Carol killed her husband.
Oh, yeah, Carol killed her husband. We already know that. But what's going on with these Nintendo Switches? They're sold out everywhere?
Well, a lot of people, what I actually heard online on a few sources, that there's a lot of resellers that are buying it up with bots. They have these bots designed where they fucking find the deals and the sales, or just the consoles in general, hurry up and buy them. and then they take them and they resell them. So that's one thing I learned about it, actually. It's funny that you did bring that up, and I actually read about that like a day or two ago.
Well, it says here, a few days ago, it said that Nintendo put out a quote, said, more Switches are on their way. And what is this, 2 days ago, I think this was, or 4 days ago, this Tech Radar put out where you can buy a Nintendo Switch Lite, which is basically Nintendo Switch. You just can't take the sides off. It's the whole system. It carries it around. It doesn't dock, and it doesn't
works more like a Wii U.
Right? Yeah, it's basically
like all in one.
Right.
But you can still play it on your TV and then walk away and play.
Oh, you can play it on your TV still?
Can you? I don't know.
Oh.
Or is it just a handheld solely?
Well, that's a good question. Let's find out.
That's what I'm curious about too.
Because if we can buy a Switch Lite, might as well find one of those. I mean, for now.
Keely does say, she said, no, we like sides off. And then Robbie says we like the sides off. Yeah, it's just probably a cheaper way of manufacturing them. Is it being all in one?
Well, yeah,
it won't. It's not as complex technology.
It's more for those people who have younger kids and maybe multiple kids, and are saying, here's the main Switch, and here's a little Switch. Here's a couple of little Switch sides, little Switch slices for you.
Yeah.
There's a little Switch slice. Yeah, so apparently there's no way to get that Switch Lite to connect to your TV and or remove the sides. So if that's what you're looking for, you might be out of luck. Let's see.
Is it how to dock? And I'm glad that you actually wanted to ask about the Switch, because it's good interaction, and then it's more content to actually do right now. It's giving us something to find out for you and actually inform you.
Yeah, and we actually didn't include any Nintendo news in here, so I really appreciate that. I love Nintendo. Nintendo hype in the chat? What? Alright, so buy Nintendo Switch bundles. Now, let's see. Nintendo.com might have them, if anywhere. I mean, come on. I
think.
And if they're on sale here, buy now. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, that's where people are probably making them bots and they buy them up like hotcakes. And then they'll resell them at a ridiculous price now that you can't find them. So people will be like, all right, I guess I'll pay $600 for a Switch.
Oh, it says buy now.
For $300. Is that the regular one? Yeah.
I clicked it. You guys seen it. I'm clicking it. But yeah, so we should actually put the restream chat up on the screen here.
No, find nearby. Watch it and I'll be able to find it. They'll be like, I'm sorry, unfortunately you may not be able to buy this right now.
Well, we're going to find out. Hopefully it loads its ass up.
Robbie says, she said, you're welcome and thank you Nintendo Switch hype.
Yeah, we love the Switch hype.
So guys, I'm also gonna try. My goal is also to kind of moderate, keep us informed in what's going on with the chat.
Whoops, I did not mean to click on that. Come on, what's going on here?
Mr. Jiggyfly is usually the brains of the operation.
Here we go. In stock, Best Buy. Boom, Penn Avenue, 4 miles.
So, if any of you want one, you can get one there.
Right now. Now, GameStop's out of stock, but Target and Best Buy have them. So.
Yeah, that's the one in
Penn Avenue.
Yeah, I know where that is.
Yeah, it's 4 miles. Yeah.
I used to work around there. I forget
Not
the
too bad.
name of it.
So, I'll leave this on screen for you guys if you want to check that out. Write it down. You know what I'm saying? Get all your information. But we found them. So Nintendo actually did say.
Viewer, Alexa.
Welcome, Alexa. Nintendo did say just a few days ago, I'd say a week ago, that they were sending more Switches. There were more Switches on the way, and here they are, available for you now. GameSpot and Best Buy, Target. So maybe there's a little bit less.
Don't go to GameStop because they're douchebags. Best Buy is just filled with a bunch of idiots.
You guys can't see what we're pointing at, but
don't know much about Target.
Imagine We're pointing at the screen.
Target always did me well, or like
we should be pointing here.
Served me well when I go
here.
shopping there. It doesn't. This is our screen, guys. We have different.
We just have to dab. Like, oh, here, look at this.
I have your Facebook chat down here, and we have our presentation in front of us here on the side. And you guys see us from there. It is weird because it's like, what the fuck are they keep pointing at?
Right. So anyway, let's if anybody wants to talk about anything else, please don't hesitate. Throw it in the chat. We'll definitely discuss it, and you're more than welcome to discuss the things we're talking about as well, because we love interaction. But we have a few more things that we want to talk about. Since we were talking about Valorant and that whole debauchery, let's get into League of Legends. And apparently this coronavirus pandemic thing has got people, well, not just people, but it's got international events being canceled left and right. And I'm sure everyone that's a fan of different sporting events is also kind of disappointed and upset. But with the recent things happening, MSI, the Mid-Season Invitational, which is normally held, I can't remember if it's like May-ish. Anyway, the point is, the Invitational is a tournament that would house the best talent from all of the major regions that compete in the international pro scene, in the pro scenes of the different nations or major nations around the world. And they would compete, they would send their best team at the time, like season is divided into 2 halves, so whoever's the best at halfway mark goes to the tournament based on which region they're in, send one team, and they would all compete. And it's a nice gauge of power for different regions and who's playing what strategies and different things. It's really awesome to see more international competition other than just Worlds. But sadly, it is canceled. So that's one thing I'm a little disappointed about. Aside from the whole Valorant being, basically a rootkit for your computer, which is not good. So that's disappointing. Can't even try that game because don't want that installed on my PC. What else do we have here? Yeah, it just kind of sucks, man. And with that comes the announcement of a few changes to the World Tournament. So we have, in the past 2 years, China and Europe have done progressively better, and Korea has done progressively worse. And now, if you don't know about the League of Legends pro scene, Korea has been dominant for about 5 years in a row, and it was almost thought impossible to be better than them. So, anyway, it's happened. Toppled the Kings, and China's been the top dog for 2 years now, and Europe has been a contender. And so, with that, they now gain additional seeding into the World Tournament bracket. So, there are 2 additional seeds, one from China and one from Europe, being added into the whole roster of the World Tournament bracket, which means it's going to be a lot harder for any other region to compete past the group stages, because obviously those 2 powerhouse regions are going to be strong, and not only that, there's going to be more of them. So it's going to be tough for NA this year if Worlds doesn't get canceled like MSI does. So, but good luck to those emerging regions that are actually appearing and showing up and getting a second seed from their previous first seed because of their performance, which is like Taiwan, Brazil, and things like that. It's awesome to see them emerging regions showing up and actually doing some stuff. You know what I mean? You gotta support the underdogs. Who doesn't love a good underdog story?
Fucking right.
But,
sorry, I mean, Robbie said something about get Godzilla in this, so I was like, you know what?
Oh yeah, Godzilla. Godzilla's attacking the generators. Yeah. Godzilla's approaching the generators.
He's kind of looking over chat.
Godzilla's watching chat.
Listening.
So, that's all we have for the League of Legends announcements. We're just kind of disappointments, actually.
Yeah, with the COVID, a lot of events are shut down.
Yeah, it's
Can't do anything. I mean, look, you have no sports right now.
Right.
Actually, did you mention that they've been airing League of Legends on ESPN?
Yeah, so that's a good thing about this is ESPN has actually been showing League of Legends tournaments and championships and matches and things like that. So that's pretty cool. They do have some untimely ad breaks though. It'd be like right in the middle of them talking about something, and be like, all right, so ESPN's going to a break. See you guys. And I like watching online, so it doesn't bother me. But it's kind of funny that, you know, they take a break at very odd intervals. Like, it's almost like the ad breaks are like pre-timed, you know, and they like didn't account for it. But
I want to thank everybody for the likes that you're all dropping.
Hell yeah, we like your likes.
Also, you were in the middle of explaining something. We had Anthony join us, Fudge.
Woo! Welcome, Fudge.
The stream.
We appreciate you. Cheers.
Cheers, buddy.
If you missed what we were talking about, basically just brought up Valorant, that whole rootkit mess.
Alright, Godzilla's just gonna sit here for now in my hands.
Talked about League of Legends for a bit. Yes. We did bring up the Nintendo Switch, the missing Nintendo Switches. Apparently, they have them at Target and Best Buy. So, need a Switch, they're out there. But
yeah. I mean, I would love one, but I'm not much into it. Hey, I see Godzilla now. Yeah, I was puppeting him for a while, and that's why my hand's killing me.
All right, so let's get into some Resident Evil news, because that's juicy with the release of Resident Evil Remake 2 and Resident Evil 3 Make, is what I like to call it, the R3 Make. It's not a very good title. I'm working on it.
But dude, isn't it? It's kind of rude and insulting. Like, what the fuck happened to Code Veronica?
Well, that might still happen, but it's not a numbered installment, so it might be getting the side treatment. It's getting a pat on the shoulder, like, saying you're a good game.
Get a heavy remake.
You were a good game. It's okay.
Get like a heavy. I hope that's not what Revelations 3 is based off of.
So, getting to that.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You kind of a little spoiler, but we have.
You're supposed to say spoiler first.
Right, you're supposed to say spoiler first, which is actually funny. We don't have the article pulled up, but
3 Make.
Yeah, the R3 Make. So
I see, even Robbie agrees. He said, "I want Veronica." So do I.
Yeah, I'd like Veronica too.
I'm about to stream that later.
But so we don't have the article, but we do have the information that the actor who played Claire in Resident Evil 2 Remake, because they have actress that played Claire.
Wait, there's new actors and actresses.
Yes, yeah.
For the new games,
right?
To make them more photorealistic.
Yeah.
And improve.
Because they actually have them animating their person by acting.
But some of them look a lot like the characters in real life. It's awesome.
Absolutely. So, anyway, like I was saying, the lady who played Claire in the most recent remake of number 2 confirmed that she was working on an upcoming project with the people who were involved in Resident Evil 3 Make.
I need my black wire.
Your what?
Long black wire.
This one?
Yeah, put it up and over. Sorry.
All right, so the cool thing about that announcement is we can actually do some deductive reasoning and a little bit of detective work to deduce exactly what that upcoming project is. So, by doing a little bit of research, we find out that the person who made, who's working on Resident Evil 3 was actually... the team that led Resident Evil 3's development was actually a Platinum Games the head of Platinum Games Studio with Capcom, starting a new studio that they call M2 Incorporated. All right. Now, you're thinking this is great. Head of Platinum Games, Capcom, yes, but they were the ones that screwed up Resident Evil 3 Make. So. And the reason is, they said they were using it as practice because it was their first project as a team for Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
That's some bullshit.
Yeah, when you told me that earlier, I was like, what the fuck?
So, Resident Evil 3 sucked because Resident Evil 4 needed a better team, and this team didn't have experience.
To answer you, Robbie, me too, meaning if you're asking about when I said to you, I was saying I want a Veronica remake as well.
Yeah, Veronica remake. So anyway, more of the deductive reasoning. We have the CEO, the Platinum Games. All right, more action oriented, more big set piece kind of a guy. Like that's what Platinum Games is all about. Which explains why this game felt like just a jump scare, because it was big old set pieces and a couple jump scares in between them. Because the head of Platinum Games ran the damn thing into the ground not knowing what his team was capable of. That's the whole problem. Is like
they cut out a bunch of stuff.
Right, because they didn't have a good team behind it. They had a new team that just formed around this new company. So anyway, that sucked, and I knew that happened. I was like, it almost feels like C or D team worked on this goddamn game. When we were playing it, I said that a couple times. I was like, it feels like not even B team work. This is like some garbage. Anyway, the game isn't that bad. It just didn't live up to my expectations as a fan of the second remake and as a fan of the original the game, Resident Evil 3. And of all the other Resident Evil games anyway. But anyway, back to my point is, so now we find out that he's directing the 3 remake and he's directing the 4 remake and he directed 3. So that means that Resident Evil 2's Claire actress couldn't have been working on Resident Evil 4 because Claire doesn't exist in 4. But we do know that another game is in development currently because Capcom confirmed that they're working on Resident Evil 8. And then we got a juicy leak from a spoiler on Twitter. This guy named Aesthetic Gamer, or aka Duke Golem, is a pretty well-known leaker source, I guess. He doesn't say his sources, but he leaks information on Twitter regarding Resident Evil games and projects, and they turn out to be pretty damn accurate, if not right on. So he actually writes in his tweet, 20 days ago, that Resident Evil 8 he says, oh crap, let me pull it up. There it is. I've needed to clear some up. Resident Evil 2021 is Resident Evil 8, but it wasn't always Resident Evil 8. During most of its development, it existed as Revelations 3.
I love the Revelations series 1 and 2.
The Revelations series was a handheld game.
Well, the first one was originally a handheld 3DS game. It got remade for consoles. It wasn't like a big budget impact where they upgraded everything massively, but it's definitely still better than it's at least like PS3 to entry level of the next gen. But then Revelations 2 came out, and that was for next gen current gen consoles, and that was a great one. That one actually brought back the establishment of fear and kind of despair in the game and eerie situations,
which is what they were saying they wanted to get more into with the Resident Evil series. And so it sort of seems like if you break the series down into trilogies, that's how the gameplay seems to evolve. You have the isometric camera angles with the third person isometric camera angles for 1, 2, and 3. 4, 5, and 6 all had third person over the shoulder action, right? And then 7 has first person, horror, scary. It's actually great. If you haven't played 7, I would recommend it. It's absolutely an amazing game.
Yeah, I have a confession to make. I've watched him do plenty of fucking playthroughs and speed runs. But as big of a Resident Evil fan that I am, I've never played through on my own or played Resident Evil 7.
Shame.
Yeah.
Shame. Get the bell. Shame. Take your clothes off.
At least I'll admit it. All right. I've never played it. I gotta do that soon.
But anyway, I would recommend it. It's a great game. It's a fantastic game. It really brings you back to the horror roots. Because they were the original guy, what was his name? Miyakami? Whatever. Shinji Mikami?
Yeah.
Shinji Mikami said he wanted the first game to be first person, but the technological limitations of the PlayStation 1 didn't allow that. So they left the first person door animations in, though, as a homage to it. So
yeah.
The idea of Resident Evil was going to be a first person horror game where you had a squad rolling around with you. So maybe we see that in 8.
So wait, you were saying the first premise or the first idea of which one was the score?
The first one.
The first one was supposed to be played all squad based.
Yeah, you were supposed to walk around and you were supposed to have the Stars team with you.
The technology just
because PlayStation didn't allow for that technology, so they had to go third person, isometric cameras, pre-rendered backgrounds, and they had to have anytime you ran into an NPC in that game, they had to be in a room by themselves. If you didn't notice that, go back and play that game. And you'll notice that anytime you run into somebody, they're in an empty room. So, part of the limitations of the hardware. What can you do?
Yeah, it originally came out on like Sega CD, Saturn, and then PlayStation.
Right, but amazing game nonetheless, which has led to this legacy, which we're speaking about even today. So, looking forward to Resident Evil 8, which is turning out to be Resident Evil Revelations 3. Well, if you're excited about that, let us know.
It'll be basically a way to tie in whatever happened and whatever's going on in Resident Evil Revelations into the actual fold of the story, probably.
I also saw rumors that it was going to be on the ground in the streets. So...
On the ground in the streets?
Right, which
like
makes sense. Again? Well, I mean, not going to lie, but maybe it makes sense to why you would have Claire working with the Resident Evil 3 cast.
Hey,
so,
Justin joined
we'll
us.
see.
What's up, Justin?
Welcome, Justin.
It didn't
Thanks
show
for
me
tuning.
that you joined. There it is.
We're glad. We're glad you're with us. We love you.
I keep missing you on playing some COD. I'm sorry. You always get on after me after I stream for like 6 hours.
But, so, more things we know about Resident Evil 4 is that they have the remake. People apparently didn't want it, but it has a bigger budget, a better team, and, you know, more people working on it, I guess. Which is good, because Resident Evil 3 is a little disappointing. Let's hope they take the feedback to heart. You know, make a better experience.
I don't see it. I don't... It's like back to what we were saying before. I don't mind if they did 4, but I don't feel 4 is one of those ones that need to be reimagined. Like, it has good technology. It still holds well with playing. It's not hard to play. Like, there's remastered versions on the console right now for current generation, and you can play it. It's not like playing something fucking old and unbearable. It's way different from trying to play 2 and 3 from before.
As a matter of fact, I just looked at the N64 version of Resident Evil 2. I just gave it to Robbie, as a matter of fact, today. And I was like, damn, I love this game.
Yeah, it's just
I almost wanted to play it again because the second one was great, and I want to play the original.
And that's what's going to make me mad is that, they skip over on 3, which actually needed to be reimagined and brought to today's standards compared to 4, because 4 still sits well. Like I said, there's no reason that you had to skip out on one of the older ones that really needed the love and care. It could have been much better. Like, it's still a good game. I will say I like it, but there are definitely a lot of things cut out that it just sucks.
Now, if they cut anything out of 4, you guys hear it from us first. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it.
Nice. Robbie and
I would rather go back and buy the original again. I'll buy the original again for somebody. I'll buy it for somebody in the chat. If the new one has anything cut out of it, I'm not buying it, and I'll spend the money on buying you a copy of the old one so that you can experience the best version of it. But, is that all we have to say about Resident Evil? I believe so.
Yeah,
we're looking forward to Resident Evil 8. Talked about Resident Evil Revelations 3, which is going to be 8. Kind of excited. It's going to have Claire in it. And she looks hella good. If you looked at her from the Resident Evil 2 movie.
What do you mean, though? He said what they're going to cut out. Oh, he wants to know what are they going to cut out of 4.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I hope they don't cut anything out. But due to our previous experience with Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3 remake, we see that not saying that they're going to cut anything out, but because of the limitations on the team that worked on Resident Evil 3, because they were a new team, and as you can see on screen right now, I highlighted it. M2 worked on the game Resident Evil 3 as practice, for some practice. That's what it says right here. So, for some practice.
Yeah, the third one was a practice. That's what makes me angry.
It sucks.
That's why I'm not gonna go back on ranting about it, but it's disappointing. So honestly, you might not get anything cut out of 4. You might get a great one, just like the second one was, and the third one just got
whatever.
Go by.
You guys like Jill?
Do it quickly and be done.
That's a damn shame. That's a damn shame.
But I mean, they might be thinking, Because if you know the story, Resident Evil 3 is actually a prequel to 2 and the after 2. Like, it starts before 2 happens, but it also ends like, after 2 ends.
Yeah.
It's strange how that plays out.
Because you have a time gap in the middle of the game.
Yeah.
But, well, because Jill gets unconscious. Or knocked unconscious, infected. So
he said Robbie said face worms better not get the chop.
The chop.
Oh, but Alexa, she said, I missed this. Alexa said a game, you know what game I loved and want a remake of? Silent Hill.
She's right.
Yes, Silent Hill is a good one.
Oh my god, I love that game. Actually, we should petition Capcom. Wait, it's not Capcom, it's Konami.
Oh wait, do you want to get
the problem
into
is it's Konami.
You want to get into some
I would love to get into some Animal Crossing. We could talk about Animal Crossing. There's a new Animal Crossing just hit.
Mr. Nook.
Oh, Tom
still
Nook.
An asshole in new
Oh boy, do we have news for you, Key. Tom Nook is the biggest asshole that you ever met in your life. Well, I mean, aside from that guy. But check this out. Animal Crossing's new game, The New Horizons, has released, and people have been all over this game, hyped about it, waiting for it. They're playing it. They're banning it in China. They're population controlling people in the villages. It's lovely. Anyway, yeah. The point is, the game's nuts. So apparently, you can have the ability to control your population because you can get rid of villagers and buy villagers from people online, so you can effectively control the population of your island and make the perfect island. However perfect your definition is, right? Whatever kind of perfect your definition is. If you want a room full of these guys, or you want an island full of this guy?
He said it's a sexual sequel prequel.
It's a sexual sequel prequel. We love it. And then, but apparently there's been a huge problem with the economy in the game, to the point where they had to update the game's interest rates for your stored currency, known as bells. Your bells are what's the currency in the game, and use that to buy whatever it is you want from the store, or pay whoever, let's say Tom Nook, so that he can upgrade his store and maybe kick you a little something for your hard work. But the point is, they added this update for Earth Day where they changed the interest rates of how much money you get with your stored money, your stored bells. What? To be less. So like now, if you have 1 million stored bells, you get way less in interest than you would have before this update. And now this update is meant not to like deter people from storing their money, but what they want people to do is they want to stop the exploitation of the economy. But this isn't exactly how you address that. But the problems in the economy stem from people being able to go online and find a certain online tool that will allow you to go and find a profitable island right away. So you can never waste your time going to an island that won't give you the maximum price for your turnips, for your tarantulas, for your apples, or whatever. I don't know. So, and then the problem is there's still a duping glitch in the game. So you can duplicate highly expensive items and sell those off, and just break the economy that way if you're not already exploiting the tools that are available online to find a bunch of islands that are profitable, go there, sell your tarantulas, blah, 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 yada, yada. So they're trying to battle the hyperinflation in the game by giving people a giant rug that looks like the Bell money bag symbol and saying, we're sorry, your interest rates now suck.
Wait, what's this? Oh, Keely wants to ask, can you still make clothes? And then Robbie said...
Yes, I believe so.
Dingoloids invade the Nook, but he said before that he wants an island of Dingoloids.
Yes! No villagers, all Dingoloids.
And then he said, we're coming over again to take the game. Give now, I need my 2 Nook.
Give now, we need the game. And where's the GameCube?
Keely just said, money rug.
Money rug. Yeah, they gave everyone a money rug, and they said, sorry about the inconvenience about your interest rate sucking. And that's the Band-Aid they put on the economy. There you go. Economy's fixed. Chop the interest rates. Give them a rug. shaped like a money bag.
Roby says the rug really brought the room together.
It really brings the room together. I mean, look at this.
He says, I love the color.
It's amazing. I actually want that rug. I wish I was playing the game, damn it. You know, what's funny is I almost wanted to get a Switch to get this game for that fucking rug. For that rug only. But I wasn't in the game before Earth Day, so I don't know if I get the rug. Somebody duplicate that rug for me. I'm coming for it.
Is Animal Crossing in quarantine as well?
Yes, Animal Crossing is in quarantine as well. It's not allowed in China at all. Yeah, you're not allowed to play Animal Crossing in China.
Oh yeah, I remember you talking about that. I read about that.
Because people were using it to spread messages to each other about revolutions, basically, is what the Chinese government said. But they basically want to censor online chat because they do in every game and everything, and they like censoring everything. But the idea is you can't play Animal Crossing in there until they come out with a way to censor your chat and the things you can make, like your rugs and stuff, or your clothes. So that's kind of funny. Yeah, Animal Crossing's in quarantine, just like we are. Sad to see.
It's wild.
Sad to see. It's a wild world, or Wild Horizon. What was that one game? The Animal Crossing Wild Adventure. Wild
China.
Nuts. Wild China. Well, that's all we have about Animal Crossing. Does anybody have any interesting tidbits about Animal Crossing other than that? Because we haven't been playing the game. We don't have Nintendo Switches.
Keely says, wow, turtle sex sound.
Wow.
Jason Hill says, Gina?
Oh, Gina. All right, so we can move on to...
Oh, I want to thank Blaze.
Oh, thanks, Blaze.
For sharing the stream.
Oh, yeah, we love the shares. We share my heart.
Who knows, guys? You guys are all doing, like, great interactions. I might actually uphold one of those giveaway things.
Might as well give it away to one of our fans right here.
Definitely. If we definitely break the 10 like interactions, we might actually have to do that giveaway.
So, moving on, we are going to move to Apex Legends. For those of you that don't know what Apex Legends is, it is a Battle Royale game made by the original creators of Call of Duty. And I guess it plays a lot like Team Fortress or Overwatch or something, with characters having classes and abilities, and it's colorful and bright and fun.
Yeah, Jason says Apex with explanations. He wants to know about Apex.
Apex, yes. So apparently, let's start with what we know here. A data miner named iLootGames uncovered details in the trailer for the Season 5 trailer that show minor changes to the Kings Canyon map, which is I think that's the original map, and the End of the World is the second one, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, the point is they're going to be making some changes with like these new domed areas and underground tunnels and pathways and things like that, and maybe even adding to or moving certain locations that are already existing. So that's going to be interesting to find out. Another thing is, we had word of 2 champions, or we'll call them legends, sorry, whoops, misspoke that. 2 legends that were supposed to be coming out in Season 4 with Revenant, which is a character that was recently released, named Rosie or Loba, I think, and another character, what the hell was his name? Forge, I think his name was, and they were supposed to have very unique abilities revolving around loot and stuff like that. But hopefully we see more information about them coming up, because Season 4 is ending really soon. And they're coming out with a new event and announcing a lot of things for Season 5. So we can get into that here. Whoa, 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 whoa. Can we get rid of this? Can we stop that?
Get rid of the sound.
Enable. It says enable. I don't want to click it because it says enable.
Burn it with fire!
This is the confusing shit. Am I enabling it? Am I disabling it?
Oh, thank you, Robbie, for the share.
We're gonna... I got it. I know what we'll do.
Very much appreciated.
We'll do this. We'll do that. Alright, so now that's not going to be too loud. But in Season 5, apparently they're going to be adding a new game mode to Apex Legends. And now this game mode is going to mirror Warzone a little bit and make some subtle changes to the way that you get armor. in a new game mode. I can't remember what they're going to be calling it. Might say it here. Let me check my notes.
You start with a pistol. I remember you telling me that.
Yeah.
Just like how
okay,
you
so
would
it's the event begins tomorrow, as a matter of fact. So the event begins tomorrow for League of Legends, and each phase of the event is going to take place over a certain number of days. And God damn it. You're in my house now. Go away.
Hello, I'm Chris Stroud for G-Finity.
Hold on, they can't really hear it.
It doesn't matter.
Look, they can't hear it. It's muted. It doesn't matter.
But they could hear it in the microwave.
Oh, yeah, they can hear it in the microwave. The microwave. You guys can hear it in the microwave? All right. Oh, God, I clicked on shit. Oh, no. Anyway.
Jason said, I actually read about this new mode today.
Yeah.
Supposedly limited time, starts tomorrow.
Yep, starts tomorrow.
May.
Yep, through late May, about May 15th. I got notes. Hold on. I got notes. So we have 24th of May to May 5th. So it's actually early May. But unless that's the end of the beginning of the last phase. But the way it works is during each phase of the event, you're going to have during the limited time game mode, you're going to have progressively increased levels of armor. So during the first phase, you have level 1 armor and a pistol at spawn before you even land. You will not be able to pick up armor through the entire match.
No armor.
No armor pickups.
But you pick up armor and fucking.
Yeah, but they're not playing. They're not mimicking exactly. They're just trying to make some subtle changes that maybe they liked when they played Warzone or something like that. So, and then what's going to happen is in the second phase you'll have level 2 armor. In the final phase, you'll actually be given an Evo shield, which, if you're not familiar with Apex Legends, an Evo shield is actually an evolution shield. It evolves, basically. And so the thing is, when you put this Evo shield on, you have to deal a certain amount of damage for it to gain more armor plating. So it kind of rewards you for being aggressive in giving you defense. So in the final phase, so maybe the 4th phase of the game, you'll have gold armor. Everyone will start with gold armor, the 4th one, and you'll start with the pistol. But in the 5th one, you'll start with the little Evo shield, which is weaker than the first phase. So that's going to be very interesting to see. And I can't wait to play that because I really want to see what that's all about. Because I hated whenever I would get dropped in with a bunch of people and I find, oh, here's a shield cell, oh, I got a grenade, and I got a damn sight attachment. And then I'm getting attacked, right? Or even just a helmet, right? So that's going to be interesting. Maybe you still get to find helmets. So we'll see how that works because the Evo shields are the ones that evolve. Maybe they'll come out with a new evolving helmet as well. Who knows? That's actually something I'd really like to see.
Eventually the mode will stick to. It'll be like people will love it, and it'll go away for a little bit, and then it'll be like, all right, we're gonna.
Yeah, and if you haven't been paying attention to Apex Legends, they have recently added duos to their queue, so now you can play with 2 people.
That's good.
Which is pretty nice. I wish they would add 4s. That would be really cool.
Yeah,
Can't wait to see that. Because they can keep the same number of people. You can still divide 60 by 4, and it still adds up for another, more squads, or less squads, but more people, and you're having fun. More people in the combat, so the skirmishes are more involved, and the battles between 3 people are cool and all, but battles between 10 people, or 8 people, or whatever, could be really interesting, and really insane. So, we'll wait and see if that ever comes out, but, all we can do is hope. Looking forward to this event. Can't wait.
Said protect your dome. That's probably I missed.
Yeah, that's the helmet comment. But so apparently it's been inspired by Warzone, this new game mode for Call of Duty, and the idea is to prevent the randomness during skirmishes after landing, and the RNG with randomness of finding armor during the game. So they wanted to make a more competitive game mode that allows for more skill expression, I believe, and less randomness. And I can see that. If you're going to make this something that's going to be like a bigger sport or something, like an e-sport, you're going to want less random in terms of, like, leveling people in the beginning, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Either way, I still like random. It still feels fun to find good armor. So I don't want that to be removed entirely from the game because I like finding blue armor. I like finding red armor or purple. Green, orange. Anyway, what else did I want to say about Apex? I think that was about everything I wanted to say.
Blaze asked, so my comment is kind of side note, but What were your favorite games growing up that got you into gaming? Probably hard choice, but Mario Kart and Sonic smacked.
Oh, yep. Yeah, those are good. Shit. Let's say Super Mario World and probably like Acrobat for the Sega. Those like these games. This is amazing. This is what you can do with games. I can't wait. I want to see more.
I grew up with, I'd have to agree, I grew up with Sonic a lot. I had Nintendo and everything, basically growing up, but I made sure I had every Sonic game. I haven't played the Sonic Pinball, like Spinball game. And I was a big Vector man, Lion King,
Yeah.
Aladdin.
Blaze had the Beauty and the Beast game. God damn
Yeah,
it!
that was a hard game.
I never got past the first map.
It was a really hard game.
I never beat the first map.
Definitely loved Sega Genesis.
I watched somebody speedrun it, and I felt like, oh yeah, it's that easy. But then I tried to do it again, and it wasn't. The game is impossible. I'll never forget how hard that game was. I remember I had the case, and I was like, "This is cool as shit. It's a movie-based game." Put it in. Like Aladdin was good. It was fun.
Aladdin was really good.
Yeah, and it wasn't hard, but it wasn't that hard.
A little hard.
It was a little hard, but it
I love
wasn't.
the Lion
It didn't
King
get
though.
hard in the
The
first
Lion
level
King
wasn't
game.
impossible. Aladdin progressively got hard like a game. Beauty and the Beast was like, yeah, good luck, bitch. You're not getting past the first level.
So basically, most things that were on Sega Genesis, and then I even had Sega CD Saturn. That's when I first played Resident Evil. I actually played the first Resident Evil. It was called Biohazards, even, and it was cool. And then I got it for PlayStation as well.
I am looking forward to these new Legends in Apex, though. On the other note, back to the thing, they do sound pretty cool. One of them's going to make it so that you can pull loot from other places or create a loot box.
Justin said Resident Evil Twisted Metal GTA got him into games. Definitely Twisted Metal. I forgot all
Twisted
about
Metal was
Twisted Metal.
amazing.
I love Twisted Metal.
And Resident Evil, definitely. Like, I was trying to think of things that got me kind of hooked before that, but Resident Evil 2 and shit, playing the first one just on the PlayStation, God.
And then
that was scary.
As Jason, like we were saying too, he agreed. He said Disney made some awesome games back in the day.
Yeah, they
Aladdin
did.
was great.
What about Mickey Mouse, Fantasia, Mickey Mouse or something? Mickey Mouse Adventure? There was some. It was amazing. I used to play that game all the time.
He also says Earthworm Jim, Battletoads.
Earthworm Jim, there
Turtles
it is.
in Time, Toe
Battletoads. God, yeah, there they go.
Hell
See, Jurassic Park.
Did
Did anybody play Jurassic Park on the Super Nintendo? Please let me know in the comments below if you played Jurassic Park for the Super Nintendo. It was like one of the first crazy, like it was a top-down game, and then it turned into a first-person shooter when you went into buildings. It was nuts.
Robbie loved Pong.
It was like a Doom. Plock. Remember Plock? You throw your arms and legs.
Robbie got his he said Minion is from Twisted Metal. That's what he got his nickname from.
Yeah.
I do know that. I remember he was like one of the
Yeah. He was Twisted.
the big bad guy.
What was it, Sweet Tooth or whatever his name was?
No.
What was his name? Who was
Minion was like the big
Yeah, I know, but who was the main bad guy? Minion was the tank guy.
Yeah, he was the big guy.
Yeah.
Calypso was the big bad guy.
Yeah, there it is, Calypso.
Sweet Tooth was just a serial killer ice cream truck clown man. The original Super Mario Brothers, Anthony said. I'm sorry, and then Zelda. Oh, Blaze asked Zelda with question mark explanation.
Oh, of course, Zelda. I was gonna say that. Once I got to thinking about the Nintendo 64 and things, it was like Ocarina of Time, Super Smash Brothers, and oddly enough, they both included Link from Legend of Zelda.
Is that a game?
Triceracop, it's not a game, but Kung Fury is one of the best movie productions of all time.
Oh yeah, I knew it was from that. I didn't know if it was actually a game there.
On screen, we have some images of the leaks of the Apex Legends map changes.
Acrobats, or Acrobat. That's one of the games.
Acrobat was awesome, yeah. You were a bat in a circus.
Tetris. Sorry, like I said, a lot of you dropped games like all of a sudden.
Yeah, man, Tetris, holy shit.
Poor Yoshi. That's what Blaze said. I agree.
Mario,
He
that
abused him all the
sadistic little
time.
fuck.
Punched him right in the back of the head.
That noise wasn't the sound of him putting his tongue out. That was him crying in pain.
Whack!
Yeah.
It was mean.
Ow! He was just saying, ow! Ow!
Screwed up.
All right, so I think that's... What else do we want to talk about? These two right here, right?
Yeah.
Or we could move into this if you want to say that, or talk about this.
Well, no, here, I'll get into that, but here, go. What are you doing?
I was looking at the other ship. Sorry. Here you go.
So, just on a small... We'll start with Fallout 76, because it's something we started playing.
Yeah, recently we picked up Fallout 76 to give it an honest shot. Yeah, and then Wastelanders just dropped, which is a overhaul / DLC.
Thank you, Justin. He says he's got to go. Talk to you later.
Love you. Thanks for the support. Appreciate you.
Yes, thank you very much.
But like we said, Fallout 76 picked it up. They just dropped their DLC / overhaul to change the game mechanics up a little bit, make the game a little more fair, fix some bugs that were much needed. And so we decided, what the heck, might as well pick it up, give it a shot, and if it's not that great, we know why.
And but if it's not that good, we all know what he'll make a new episode of.
Yeah, we'll see another Games Exposed on that. Who knows? But either way, we're going to give it a fair shot. We're going to give it plenty of hours and have some fun with it. And it is a co-op experience, so we thought, you know, we got some time, might as well hop into it. But apparently, they've had some interesting problems going on in their game. After this Wastelanders DLC released, some of the events that include NPCs that will help you out during the events by using weapons to take on the other enemies with you or whatever, they apparently will wait until you die and loot your body and take your weapons. And they won't give them back. And they will start using the weapons. And they won't care. You can't kill them and get your weapons back. And the best part is, when you die in Fallout 76, if you're not familiar with the game, you don't lose any of your weapons or armor. That's not how the game works. When you get looted, you're supposed to only drop your junk, which is basically just garbage that you find for materials for building and crafting. So the fact that these NPCs are looting your body when you die, and they're getting stuff that nobody else could get from you from looting your body, and you're not able to get it back, it is so disheartening. I was thinking to myself, like, what if that had happened to me when I crafted and I just put a sight on my gun and got a little barrel on it. I was like, excited about it. It's kind of shitty, but yeah, what if I lost that? I would have been pissed.
We were playing that. If I would have had some NPC come up and take my shit, oh my god, I'd be mad.
So what's happening is, I guess the NPCs are... There's a bug where the NPC is actually looting your body before you technically disappear or despawn. And they're able to take your weapons. And so there have been some stories of people who have Gatling guns get killed in an event, die, or despawn, come back, find their bag of stuff, but they don't have the gun that they were using. And they are missing some random amount of ammo. And so then they get back to the event and they see the NPC that was close to them happens to be having a suspiciously familiar looking Gatling gun that they happened to be using before they died. And they know that NPC was not using the Gatling gun before they died. So there's it's very blatant, and it's very apparent when it happens. Like, you know when it happens, and it's hilarious. But
Blaze says good night.
Good night. Love you. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Is it Cloud9 for life?
Cloud9 for life. Cloud9 recently became the League of Legends LCS champions in North America. Spoiler. That's not how that works, but spoiler. So, yeah.
Uptown junk? Jason asked.
Uptown junk.
Everybody keeps talking about junk. Like, drop your junk.
Oh, put that junk in the trunk.
Which is funny that you keep saying that, because you get stuff in the game called junk and you scrap it.
Scrap that junk. And you can put it in your trunk.
You can, because you get a trunk. You can put the junk in your trunk.
That's where you put your junk. It goes in your trunk.
At your camp.
In your can. Who wants to play Get in the Can?
Mo junk, mo problems.
More problems, all the junk. Low. Let's see. What can we move on to here? We got Call of Duty to talk about now.
Yeah.
If you have been experiencing any issues with the recent Call of Duty Warzone, things that seem out of your control or like some straight up bullshit.
What's the crossplay? Basically...
It basically is true. You were right this whole time.
It's the PC cheaters.
You were right.
Recently...
You said, that's bullshit! You were right.
Recently, suspected cheaters in Warzone have been now lobbied together to now basically cheat against themselves. They basically, I don't know what the tactic is, why you wouldn't just ban them completely, but okay. So supposedly they are lobbying them together
cheaters are
because reporting players provides feedback.
Yeah,
if a bans or what is?
Yeah, so if you report a player and they get banned, you get feedback instantaneously saying this player was banned.
Okay.
Also, people who are suspected of cheating will be lobbied with other suspected cheaters. That's kind of what it's getting at. And so it sounds like a great way to kind of tackle this whole issue that people are seeing.
But then that could also backfire, that somebody could just say that you're cheating. Well, what are they going to really do to back up or what they're going to basically do is they do stat checking.
Well, not
they
just
look
that.
at like your kills and your ratios.
Yeah. And the thing is, you can also appeal these bans. You know what I'm saying? And so if it wrongly happens to you, you can appeal and they can say, "We're right, you were right." But if they find out that you were cheating, or if they suspect you of cheating because certain evidence is pointing you towards not being able to do something that you're doing, then you're going to be put in a lobby with some other cheaters. And
it's actually it's bullshit, and it's not just Warzone. I sometimes see it in competitive multiplayer because he doesn't really play it. If any of you see my streams that I pester you with, they're dominantly Call of Duty. So I firsthand experienced this annoyance and garbage that goes on in the game. I guess it's good that there's a system that we could report them. They'll be stuck with each other. I'm still waiting to see if I get feedback then, because I've reported a few people. I should see if I've gotten any feedback on if they've been banned or not.
They're also working on implementing an in-game report a player feature that's going to be accessible through the death cam or whatever.
Oh, okay. So, through the death cam, all right.
Maybe
I noticed I could do it by like going onto their name and then like banning or reporting them that way.
Yeah. Yeah, but apparently they're working on another way to report people in-game. So that's going to keep an eye out for that if you have been playing the game and you have been experiencing these cheaters. You know, or if you've been trying to catch them yourself with some game clips and everything. That's the cool thing about today's games consoles is they are allowing you to even catch people like that. Say you're playing cross-platform with a PC player and you get a death cam, something that's clearly cheating. You can hit that middle button and record a game clip and send it right to Activision or right to Infinity Ward.
And I've done that. I've actually taken a few screenshots, and I've had some of my streams where even when I wasn't streaming, I would record a snippet of it, and then I would use that as proof. So
absolutely.
It works. But what I do suggest, if you're going to play multiplayer,
turn that damn switch off.
Turn the crossplay off.
Turn the cheaters off with the switch.
If you start to notice it, the best thing you could do is just turn it off. I'm stubborn, and I'm very competitive with the game. So even when I encounter a cheater or a hacker, I just try my best. I know I'm not going to be the winner probably, but I do my best to show them how much of a loser and trash that they are, and show that I could actually beat their ass while they're hacking, because I've had some content that I still need to make some montages to show you guys that you can still clown hackers and make them feel like a fool, because the funny thing is they're cheating and you can still do things to them. But also
do things to them.
Also, though, go back up. As you all know, Call of Duty runs by seasons. We are now in the 3rd season. It started on April 8th. They run about 50 to 60 days. They're 100 levels. It's basically you pay 1,000 COD coins, which is basically $10, to get a seasonal package that you need to climb a ladder through for cosmetic rewards. And basically like blueprints for legendary guns. Any of you to play, you should know what it is. But that started on the 8th. We already told you about the banning players.
We didn't tell you that in just under a month, when Warzone dropped till today, Infinity Ward has banned over 70,000 cheaters.
Oh yeah, 70,000.
So, and that's just over a month and a half or so. Like, that's insane.
It's PC
in a month and a half, 70,000 players have been.
Robbie asks, how do they hack?
So the way it works is they get computer programs that either run scripts that play the game better for them at the press of a button. For instance, there are certain ones that you can like press a button to lock onto a head, right? And you'd be like, press 1 and then you shoot, and that's a headshot. Boom, right? And then there'll be another one that'll just basically allow you to shoot through walls by pressing 2. And then walls don't matter when you press 2. Then you press 1 and shoot, right? So then you get I'm going through walls, then I'm fucking hitting heads, and I'm shooting people. And you could be anywhere on the map. So that's like aimbotting, and there's different hacking. Like people can change
seeing through the
all
walls,
kind of different
shooting
things.
through the walls.
Yeah, they can modify the gravity of their players and grenades and things.
It's markers of every character on the battlefield, so you know where they're at.
Yeah,
and then you know when you're encountering one of them, and then you could just basically aim at them probably with this super.
They basically just want to look good at the game for money or for fun.
It's to build up their stats. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't get it either.
Doesn't make sense.
I said this the other day, and I know you were telling me that maybe that the one person just was fed up and like they felt that they were wronged and cheated on achieving something in the game, so now they want to strike back at the game.
Yeah, I was watching a documentary on cheating, and they were saying a lot of the times it's people do it once or twice, get away with it, and then just don't stop, trying to get away with it. But it starts off innocently enough where they don't want to cheat, they don't want to do these things, and they fall into this rhythm where they're failing over and over again, and they get frustrated, and they feel like they deserve that special time, they deserve that special rank or that special gun or that special border, because they felt like maybe in a team-based game, maybe their teammates weren't up to where they're supposed to be in their mind, right? And so they're thinking, well, I could just use it to get this one gun, I could just use it to get this one, and then it goes and it goes and it goes until they get caught, right? So yeah,
I believe Robbie quoted from Jurassic Park 1993, Sam Jackson, I hate this hacker crap.
I hate this hacker crap.
I do too. It's very frustrating.
You didn't enter magic word.
It's a pain in the ass when you play and you come across a hacker. Like I said, that's why if I get it a lot, I turn off crossplay when I play multiplayer. Obviously, you have to turn it back on when you play Battle Royale.
True.
I personally haven't came across very many hackers in the Battle Royale. I've gotten lucky. That's good. But, really, really sucks. And then what's weird, too, is when they came out with Season 3, they tried to make changes to the Battle Royale where they added plunder. They gave you duos, but then and quads, but then took away trios. And now there's just duos, and you can't find the quads or the trio. It's a fucking mess in the plunder category for Warzone. They're still working on a lot of things. If you play it, you notice it says beta on it. So the sad part is Warzone is technically just a beta. And they have lots and lots of work still to go.
Well, it might be time to transition into our next game. We're going to be talking about a few events before we end the stream here that are still ongoing or have just began in some of our favorite games. And some of you guys might be playing right now, or you might want to check out because of these events if you haven't already tried them. So we have Warframe is actually having a Operation Scarlet Spear event. And apparently, if you're running it on PC, it ends on the 28th, so you've only got about 5 days to play. However, if you're playing on Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, or PS4, you have until May 14th. So you have an extra bit of time if you play on the console. So even if you wanted to get into the event now, download the game, try it out tomorrow, you still have plenty of time to try it out and see what it's all about. It seems like, I haven't played it yet, but it seems like there's a new way to play with a new game mode where you team up with different squads of Tenno, I believe.
Yeah, they're called Tenno. It
Yeah.
reminds me of I can't think of the name, but it was this one like teenage hero that had a spacesuit, and he like fought
Ben
crazy.
10.
Not that, it wasn't a cartoon. It was an old 80s, maybe early 90s
Oh,
movie.
shit. Yeah, I don't
He looked
remember.
badass as fuck, but he looked just like the Tennos. And that's what they're called, Tennos. They're like this weird alien organic armor being.
So, the Operation Scarlet Spear began last week, and it runs until May 14th if you're on the console, like we were saying. And it feels like an expansion to its kind of ongoing story premise that they have going on in the game. If you've ever played the game, it starts off a little slow, but once you get going, you can even just skip that once you get past like the tutorial, you can even skip around and do whatever you really want. But seems like you're going to be teaming up with other squads to take on these new threats in space and on the ground. So I think you're going to be flying and shooting and flying in sword combat.
Well, the game has really changed since it first came out.
Absolutely, way different.
Like, it's actually one of, I'd have to say, at least for consoles, it's one of the best free-to-play games, and it has, like, definitely progressed since it first came out. Like, I played it a few times when it first came out, and it was okay, but then kind of brushed it aside, and I keep seeing and gathering free stuff from Twitch Prime, and I try it out here and there, and it seems like a worthy game. And that's why I definitely should shout out this event. It's a big event on Xbox. Like he said, it runs until the 14th. And it looks interesting. It's a whole new way to play the game. If any of you are old returning players of Warframe, the game could be, depending on how long ago you stopped playing it, the game is drastically different, and it is fun.
There's a ton of new rewards. As you can see, some pretty cool looking armor and guns. They're not showing everything, but these things look pretty damn cool in their own right. And I kind of want to pick it back up, not gonna lie.
Yeah, me too. Plus, I have a lot of gear from it for being a Twitch Prime. All
right, so we can talk about Borderlands 3.
Yeah, Borderlands 3 is running a new event. That started today, right?
Yep.
April 23rd. It is the Revenge of the Cartels. Basically, you tackle the Joey Ultraviolet's gangs. They are new enemies. They offer unique loot for each gang.
That's really cool. So you can play through and explore some storyline of this one gang or go into that gang, and you get different loot for each one. That's actually really cool.
The game will also bring you some new quality of life improvements with backpack and bank upgrades, basically.
Everybody loves to be able to hold more loot.
Definitely. That's always a good thing in that game because that game is basically revolved around getting.
It's a loot generator with shooting enemies in between.
It's a gun generator.
Yeah, but it's amazing. It's fun. It's hilarious, especially if you have friends to play with. You'll have a blast. Oh, we forgot to mention there are some new updates to the Mayhem mode, which are going to bring 25 modifiers to 10 difficulty levels. So Mayhem mode, I think it's like their Horde mode.
Yeah.
Right? Where you earn loot. So there's going to be modifiers made to the enemies during the rounds and your players, I believe. So 25 new modifiers. It's gonna feel like a whole new experience, basically. Is what it sounds like. So if you haven't already tried out the event that started today, go to download your update and start your journey in the Borderlands.
It is a good game. We need to play it more.
Yeah, the storyline is disappointing, but the game is fun.
Yeah, it's a corny story.
It's very corny.
They're like definitely feeding off of today's like big thing of game streaming. I'm a streamer, he streams, we make content, but I mean, to make that part of a video game,
it's more patronizing than satire.
Yeah,
where like GTA can flatter and be satire and be funny and charming, right? And this is almost obnoxious.
Robbie says, "I want to play you can't. You can play split screen co-op. You could always come and hang out and play it on my big TV with us.
Yeah, we'll put you in a little bubble, like the bubble boy.
Yeah, you can sit in a bubble if you want.
Right, we got wireless controllers.
Scooby will sit beside you, just lick your bubble. Like, what are you doing in there?
I'll just have to roll you downstairs. All right.
Put the loot in your chute, or put the loot in your chute. That's what Jason.
Put the loot in your chute. Speaking of loot, we can transition to our final game of the evening, Sea of Thieves. For those of you who haven't been swashbucklers yet, get out there, pick your fortune, pick your emissary. Pick your emissary and make your fortune. So the idea behind this update in the Sea of Thieves is called Ships of Fortune, and apparently you're going to be choosing a loyalty between one of the 3 or 5 or 10, how many ever factions they have now, you'll be choosing your loyalty. And when you're completing quests for them and delivering loot to them, you are rewarded with more gold and more experience for doing their things for them, basically. And you also get to fly a cool new flag.
Loot the boot.
If you see, loot the boot. Booty's looted. You know what I'm saying? Hand over your booty and your looty. We're about to loot your booty. But anyway, it sounds like it'll be a lot of fun on the Sea of Thieves. It sounds like it's going to bring a lot of people together, working in the different emissaries, because you say, oh, well, you're a merchant. Yeah, I'm working for the merchants too. Maybe we'll work together because these Order of Souls guys are blowing my ass up. I don't know. It sounds like it might be kind of fun. I might jump back into the game. They had an event recently that was, it was like a 2 or 3 day event where they had, it was like for a weekend, it had double experience and double money for any loot that you turned in. And I actually used that time to become a pirate legend.
Oh, okay.
So your boy's a pirate legend.
Yeah, I'm behind on that game. The game had a slow start.
It had a real slow start. Believe me. When we played it, when it started, man, we grinded it, but it wasn't nearly as easy it wasn't as nice as it is now. Now you can literally not take a mission, just sail around, run into treasure. I accidentally stumble upon treasure, and then things will just come out of the sand and fight you with treasure. So, treasure everywhere in that game. If you haven't played it since the game started, go and check it out. There's rowboats, chain shots, fire bombs. The ship can be damaged in different ways now. It's a whole new overhaul for
get your own ship on fire by keeping your food on the stove.
You can cook and fish. I forgot about that. So you can actually cook the fish, and if you don't take it off the oven, it will burn your boat down. So, and then you'll be struggling to keep your boat afloat by putting water on it.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting dilemma there.
It's funny.
But it was a good day. We had good time with the stream. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. We really love you guys.
Yes, thank you.
Appreciate all the support. Much love. I want to thank you all. Triceracop showed up. I want to thank everyone for just commenting and just hanging out with us. It really means a lot. We love you guys.
1 second.
As a matter of fact, I think we're going to be doing a little giveaway for anybody that tuned in and commented on this Facebook stream. So, to the Facebook viewers, you guys get this one because we have other couple giveaways going on for YouTube and Twitch and things like that. So if you guys are tuning in from there, check out our descriptions and things and other videos that will describe how to enter in those giveaways.
219 comments.
We have a lot of comments on this Facebook stream, so we really want to, we're going to give back to you guys. We want to thank you. So we can do 2 $25 giveaways to random commenters in the chat. So as a thank you guys, I want to give that away. We really appreciate it. And so keep an eye out in your inbox for a gift card key.
Yeah, Jason says, great job, guys. Robbie closes out with love your booty.
I love your booty, and I'm going to get it soon.
We love you guys. You guys are great. Like he said, I basically should have, there's 220 odd comments on here. Everybody that tuned in during the live stream, you basically commented. So those of you that commented and dropped reactions, you will be the ones chosen at random for the winnings. And like he said, myself or he will message you with the details on it.
Yeah. So good luck to everybody that commented. Thank you so much for your support. We love you guys. Have a great night. Stay safe. Put those masks on when you go outside. Nobody wants the Rona.
Thank you, Keely. You are great. You all are great.
Yeah, you're great. We really do appreciate everything. Every one of you. To all of you, a great night.
Have a good night.
All right, guys. We'll see you in the next one.